Hi, Mark. Welcome around the workstand.
Hey, Susie. How's it going this week?
It's going great. Happy to be back to our usual Tuesday. We took a couple weeks off from our kind of shorter routine recordings.
We had some good guests on.
We did. I loved those. I listened to those episodes as much as
Don't you listen to all the episodes?
Little secret about Susie. I have like a self-loathing streak, and sometimes having to hear myself talk is a painful thing.
I'm sorry for that. I love listening to me talk.
We know. No secret there. Yeah, anyway, if you haven't gotten a chance to check those out, we had Lauren, our agency team director, and Alex, our project team manager, on for a couple episodes, and they were excellent. Really great insight into some other teams we don't get to hear from too often.
I learned a lot.
I did, especially about the kind of the project team, or was that product? I keep saying product team.
They do a lot of projects.
I know.
Yeah, but hey, if you like those like we did, and you have other parts of Workstand you like to hear from, we're going to have other folks on. So if you have specific people, maybe you've been around a long time and you want to hear from Barbara, or you want to hear from whoever, let us know. Email us.
I think I'd like to nominate Barbara as our next guest.
I would love to do that. We'll see if she agrees.
Really going off the agenda here. I'm out of practice. It's been like a solid 3 weeks since I've had this on my schedule.
Yeah, because we did kind of record those in a row, because those guest ones with 3 people and folks that aren't used to doing it take longer to put together. So we had a little break from these short episodes, which this one seems like it's getting long. So why don't we go forward?
Thanks, Mark. Okay, roll back on task. Man, we have complimentary content for retailers really coming out of our ears right now.
Yeah.
So much going on. It is November 7th, in case you're not listening to this on the day it comes out. We are rolling into the holidays. It's coming in hot. We've got all of the complimentary holiday content is live in the page library. In your page library, there's a folder that's seasonal and a folder for holiday, and there's all sorts of good stuff in there. Anything from you want something a little bit more promotional, maybe you want to offer a little deal for the Cyber Weekend deals, that bundle of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, or you want something that's just kind of more general gift guide-y.
Yes, kids gift guide, cruise with your crew. There's a bunch of good stuff in there, sale or not. So you don't feel like if your idea is not to have a sale, there's content that works for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Something to fit everyone's needs. So please utilize that. Reach out if you need help utilizing or modifying it. Easy to edit. And just like everything else, it's customizable on the Workstand platform.
We've got that video we did this time last year to guide you through installing the content. Remember, though, the admin looks different than it did then, but use the site search at the top. You'll connect the dots. But I'll put that video link in the notes below, and that'll make sure you have that handy to put it in case you're doing that in the middle of the night and need a little refresher on how to do that.
Good call. That's a good tip.
Yep.
And then we have been working really closely with our brand and supplier partners to create content that is free for retailers to use. So just this week, we have launched, there's a new Trek Project One page. We've had pages in the past, but this is a revamped one.
Beautiful.
It is really beautiful.
Yeah.
That paint is so pretty. Got me down like a little rabbit hole yesterday on bikes that are not within. I don't need any bikes, but I need bikes.
It's unlike you to be thinking about a new bike.
I know, right? But anyway, we've got that. We sent an email to our truck retailers. That is for self-installation. So live, please utilize however you'd like. The Santa Cruz V10 launches today. So it's already launched when this is out in the world. But you can find that in the Santa Cruz Bikes folder. And the Specialized holiday promotion content is live as well. Specialized sent an email to their retailers last week, and then we're going to be following up with a reminder tomorrow. So please keep an eye out for that. We've got more on the way from Giant, Cannondale, more from Santa Cruz, Trek, and Specialized. Um, please keep an eye on your inbox. We'll be emailing you or reach out if you're like, hey, maybe I missed something. I just want to see what my options are.
Yeah,
Let us know.
watch for those. Those projects are great, and it's fun to work with the brands on those. And the results are always outstanding.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, as a merchant, doesn't cost you anything.
Nope. And so some of those we had listed: the Santa Cruz V10 and Trek Project One. Those will be live in your page library. You can install them on your own. Reach out for assistance. Specialized, we'll be sending out a form page. Just fill out your information, and we'll add it to your website for you.
There you go.
Keeping with the marketing theme of today, that's just like my go-to, Yeah. But, speaking of holidays, there's a lot to talk about, and we want to make sure that people are going to capture as many sales, create more selling opportunities this holiday season. So here's some quick tips, but I think pretty much every week you're going to hear about holiday from me.
Yeah, it wasn't too many episodes ago. We were almost apologizing for starting too early. It is no longer too early.
Nope.
If you have not begun prepping, if you plan to prep, if you plan to have some sort of holiday something going on, it is not too early anymore. It is now the time.
Yes, absolutely. Start talking about it. Make sure your products are easy to find. I think my top 3 kind of top tips, there's lots you can do to get the word out. Maybe go back to that episode we did with Lauren if you want. From the expert and her team, all the good stuff. But I would really make sure it's on your homepage. You've got it kind of front and center in that hero section, and maybe at least a catalog carousel. That'd be a really good spot to promote some good gifts. What you got, what's something seasonally relevant even. And Google local listings. That's a kind of a favorite that's working really well for retailers. There is a free option. You can set that up in your Google Merchant Center, or you can kind of boost those results with shopping ads, and you can promote your, locally pickupable shop online, pick up in store items.
Yeah.
Those are working really well. I'd love to see some more folks take advantage of that for the holidays. And of course, email marketing. Reach out to folks who are already paying attention to, that are familiar with your brand, and let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
What about, what if a retailer, I think we get this a lot too. If you're not a marketer, or they're not someone who's thinking about this all the time, I hear folks who are like, well, I don't know what to talk about. I get you. I should say something, but what should I say? What would you tell them, Mark?
Well, I think the same thing you tell somebody that walks in the store. Somebody comes in looking for something. What are they looking for? What are your customers shopping for? What have you set up in the store as a key display? Think about those things that matter to you, because they're going to matter to your customers, and that's what you promote. Because if they come in the store right off, great, you got that covered. But most folks just don't these days. They're going to make a stop. Typically, the first connection is going to be with your website. And that's why Susie's tips about the homepage being merchandised are so important, because that's typically what they're going to see. You want them to see what would matter and what you would be telling them if they came in the store. That's the best way to get them to the store.
Yeah, and don't forget about your staff, your team members. I think those are some of the best assets. Ask someone in service. What are they talking about with folks who come in with their bikes right now? What are they recommending? Different types of riders. Maybe you have your mountain bike expert on staff. You've got your team roadie. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. We kind of do that with this. We always check in with our client success team to figure out what questions are being answered a lot or asked a lot to share. Do the same thing with your staff. Figure that exact thing out. What are people calling about for service this time of year? What are the most popular top 3 questions you're hearing on the phone when the phone rings? Address those things. You're trying to match what you show with the things people are curious about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about a Tuesday tech tip? We did our marketing tip.
Well, I think I just aligned the tech tip with those marketing tips, because we mentioned the library a lot. We mentioned content a lot. We mentioned Google Local. So get to those tools and familiarize yourself with them. If you don't do that work a lot, sometimes it's easy to forget where something is, especially when we've moved it around 2 or 3 times in the last year. So don't forget the search. Use the search if you need to find page library, just type page library in, click it, it'll take you right to it. I'm going to put that video below, like I mentioned, about installing content. I'll also put a video about where do you set up the Google local feed, the local product feed and shopping feeds. The big thing with that, though, that makes it difficult, it's very simple on our side to enable the website to generate a Google compliant shopping feed. It's very complicated on the Google side. So Google Merchant Center is the Google property that has to be configured correctly. It's just not straightforward. So if you get through that and get it done, awesome. You're ready to go. If you need help, we've got paid programs within the agency where our team get that set up very quickly for you and 100% correct. So if you need help with that, let us know. We'll help get you connected. But those Google Local, the free shopping ads, they're great. They're not going to change the world for you, but they're putting your products in front of shoppers with intent. Google gets to decide which products and where. So that's the downside of that. But if you want to control that, once Google Merchant Center is set up for those free shopping ads, it's also ready for paid shopping ads. So if you want to allocate some budget to get into those top little panels when you search for something on Google, that's what those ads are for, and we can certainly help with that.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent tech tips.
You did a really good job looking interested while I talked for a long time.
I was interested. It's all a ruse.
Yeah. It's fun. It is quite busy here, which hopefully typically means it's busy for our merchants, and that's exciting. So we're here. The client success team is here to help point you in the right direction, troubleshoot things, educate you. The marketing agency team, Lauren's team, is here to help if you want to delegate any of that work. Susie and I are always around if you have questions for us. And remember, if you want to hear from other folks within Workstand, we hope to have other guests on. So let us know who else you would like to see around the Workstand.
Yes, please. So maybe next week I'll let Mark talk a little bit more so I can complain less about the sound of my own voice.
Oh.
You finished us off strong, but I rambled pretty hard for a while early on.
I just want you to listen to the episodes. I find them entertaining. I listen to them multiple times, but
we are hilarious.
I guess I'm biased.
Yes. I mean, Mark's got to listen to a lot of us talking at each other. He's got to do all the editing.
Yeah, I get to.
It's a wild ride.
I get to listen to a lot, but it's enjoyable. I like it. But we do want to hear what everybody else wants. If you've got ideas for these shorter episodes, if you've got ideas of guests you want to hear, we certainly want to know. So we provide the content that's interesting that everybody wants to listen to.
Yes, and we really love it when you you reach out to our success team and you ask for some help for something and you say, I heard about it on the podcast. That just really warms our heart. Thank you so much. That happened
this week. It's so exciting.
Yes. Yeah. Well, speaking of, I guess we'll see you around the Workstand. See you next week.
See you around the Workstand.